What is going on, guys? It is Arhamman Games here, and welcome back to the channel for another video. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Now, in today's video, we are doing a video that was requested a long time ago here on the channel. So today we are doing a review over the stainless steel GFuel shaker cup, kind of overall the entire line, or trying to. When I first got this cup in, I had a lot of you guys commenting saying, can we do a review on it and whatnot. And today I'm going to tell you if it's really worth it, because the price jump to a stainless steel shaker from just a regular GFuel shaker is kind of a pretty decent price jump. So anyways, we're going to go over all of that today. So to start this video, I kind of want to go ahead and run through my test that I did with this, or I guess talk about kind of the point of a stainless steel shaker versus a regular shaker. So the big point to a stainless steel shaker would be that it is obviously insulated on the inside with the stainless steel. It should keep your drink colder for a longer period of time. So that's what we tested in this video. So I also want to go ahead and note this as well. The Tall Boys, this was the very first Tall Boy they ever released. There is a different style of stainless steel that they use, like the cup looks now. So I don't know if, you know, this is going to be any different with those. Maybe the ice lasts a little bit longer in those. I honestly don't know. But this is the first style. So this is very similar to the stainless steel Hornet that they released, just a bigger version of that. So how I did my test on this. Basically, what we did is got this shaker cup filled with ice and water. Just to see how long it would last. I filled the ice to about, maybe right there, because that's probably about normal what I would do for ice, maybe right there. For a GFuel serving this size, this would be about a scoop and a half probably, is what I would do for it personally. But, so we started at around like 5:55 yesterday. I've got notes over here, so I'm going to continuously keep looking over there. And then every so often I would actually, you know, check the state of it, if it was still cold, if it still had ice, stuff like that. So there is some other factors to this that I was not able to test, that would change the outcome of whether it's still cold or has ice. One of the big things is where you're keeping it at. Personally, I think that the stainless steel should be able to hold it longer no matter what in any of these scenarios than what a normal shaker cup would do. But if you have it like in a hot car or something like that, it may, you know, change these results that I have today. And the other thing that's a big factor to it would be shaking it. Like, so if you're actually using this and have GFuel in it and you're shaking it, that could also kind of make the outcome a little bit different. But, so I have got pictures that I'm going to put up on the screen of every time that I checked it, so you guys can see the progress over time too. So you guys can see in this first picture, this is the start time, the ice, the water, everything. And I know it's kind of hard to see how much ice is really in it, but that's the whole point of me taking notes and kind of talking about it. So the first check was 2 hours in to the experiment with it, and as you guys can probably see a little bit in the picture, not much change. The ice might have slightly melted, but it honestly didn't look very different at all. You still had ice in it 2 hours in, and obviously your water would still be cold, and in this case your GFuel would still be cold as well. Now, like I said, if you're shaking it, the ice might have melted a little bit more, but at this point, 2 hours in, nothing was really too different about it. And then we checked with 4 hours in. So at 4 hours in for my testing and for how much ice I had in here, we were down to maybe just like one ice cube left. But with that ice cube still being in there, I felt the water was still ice cold. So everything would still be cold with your drink. So like I said, at that point, maybe around like a 3 hour mark, if you were shaking it, you would have lost all your ice by now, but it would still be cold. So definitely just at that point right there, at 4 hours in, already better than what a regular shaker cup would be. So I know from personal experience from streaming, if I'm using like just one of these regular plastic shaker cups, typically I'm finishing the whole thing before 4 hours is over, because my streams normally run like 2 to 3 hours. But even then, before I even get to finishing it, it's already starting to lose its coldness. It might not be completely warm yet, it might not be room temperature, but it's not as cold as it was when I first started drinking it. So that's because the ice melt quicker and whatnot. So for that reason alone, you know, is a reason why I love this thing, is for how much longer it holds ice than one of these. Like I said, like in a 2 hour, 3 hour stream, if I wasn't finished with this yet, it would have definitely room temperature. But typically I finish it quicker than that. So even in a state like this, I'm finishing GFuel a little bit quicker than that, but we'll go ahead and talk about that at the very end. So the third check was 6 hours in, 2 hours after my last check. And there was no ice left. Obviously the 2 hours went by, that last ice cube melted, but the water was still ice cold. So that's the big thing, is after everything is melted, which I would have guessed within that 4th hour somewhere was when the ice melted. So it went 2 hours with being ice cold water still. So that was actually really impressive in my opinion. Just to throw that out there. Like I said, it's 6 hours in. I've probably already finished GFuel, but we need to check it anyways. And then the final check of last night was 8 hours in. So at 8 hours in, the water maybe was like slightly warmer than what it was before, but it was still very cold water that you could really enjoy, you know, your GFuel with and drinking it and stuff like that. So, and at that point, that is where I went to bed for the night. And from here on out, I don't have really any more pictures to show you, because not a lot changed other than like the temperature of the water. So it would be more of a feel thing to me than what a picture would show. So when we, I waited until later on today to check it at 1:55, which was 20 hours into this test. The water was still maybe slightly cold, maybe like more like if you were gonna run your hand like under tap water kinda. It was still cold, not as cold, but your GFuel is still definitely drinkable at that temperature. And then the final check was 24 hours later. The water was definitely back to room temperature. And at that point, you'd probably need to add more ice to it if you wanted to continue to drink what you had in this. So probably somewhere within that 20 to 24 hour mark is where this thing kind of fails in a way. But at the same time, it's a great success over what other tall boys will do if you don't have a stainless steel cup. Now, what I am going to go ahead and tell you is, even if you tried to stretch it out that long, that's probably not going to happen. You're probably not going to have, you know, one serving, right? One sitting of GFuel in here for 24 hours, which is at the same time awesome, because I used to use this a lot in the mornings. And honestly, if I sit and think about it, it probably was only in there for at most 6 to 7 hours, and it was still cold. And you know, by then you should have it finished. So even at the 6 hour mark, you know, we still had no ice, but it was still ice cold. So that's kind of the point of these, is even once the ice is gone, it's going to hold ice longer than what a normal shaker would, but it's going to also keep it colder for a longer period of time, is what I'm getting at. So that's kind of the point though. If you have this right here and it's taking you longer than, you know, maybe like 8 hours to drink this, probably shouldn't be drinking the entire thing. Maybe only filling it halfway and doing it that way, or maybe the smaller shaker, because even then, like I said, it's not going to take 6 to 8 hours to drink it. So this does its job. This does exactly what it needs to do, which is keep it cold, keep it, you know, refreshing to drink and stuff like that. And even if it's not to what you like, you can still add more ice to this, and the ice is going to be held even longer. So my personal opinion, you know, these are like I said, these are more expensive. So for the tall boy, you're looking at $26. For the small one, you're looking at $22, which is a huge price jump if you're looking at shaker cups, because I don't fully remember how much tall boys cost, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere between like 12 bucks and 13 bucks or something like that for just a regular tall boy. And then a regular one of these is only like 10 bucks. But for what you get in this is 100% worth it. Like, if you were going to get one shaker cup, definitely would recommend a stainless steel one, because this thing does its job very well. And if you're streaming, if you're on the go, like going to classes or something like that, this is perfect. Going to work, another thing that it's perfect for, just be able to have this, and you know when you go to pick it up, it's still cold. So this is one of, probably out of everything that I've ever bought GFuel wise, this is probably one of my favorite things that I've ever bought, just because this is literally replaced almost any shaker cup that I've ever used. I still have a ton of shaker cups, that I get in collector's boxes and stuff like that, but this is really one of the only ones that I still use almost every day. If I'm drinking GFuel, I'm reaching for this because it's going to keep it cold. So is it worth it? 100%. I think so. There is like I said, it's a noticeable difference between the two, like a crazy noticeable difference between the two. So if you have the extra money to get a stainless steel one, that's the way to go. And honestly, you probably will not need another shaker cup after that. Now there is, the factor of time, and over time it's going to stop working. But even then, I've had this for quite a little bit of time now, and it's still holding ice, just really good overall. So like I said, I don't know if the new design of them is to, help some of that stuff that I tested. But overall, it does its job. It's good. It's worth it. And I would highly recommend picking one up. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for me here in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, smash the like button down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel to see more videos. Tomorrow, we are trying the Berry Bomb GFuel flavor. I have a tub of it. Haven't opened it yet. Super excited about this reskin of phase berry to try. So stay tuned tomorrow for that. And other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.